One last question, actually. Do you have one of those
Well, good evening, all. On behalf of Tom Hannigan, our manager, who can't be with us tonight, and all of our staff, I want to welcome you to our annual Candlelight service. We know that sometime this year you had to choose a funeral home, and I'm sure that's the last thing you wanted to do. And I'm sure this is probably the last place you want to be tonight. But we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. We want you to know we care about you long after the check is canceled or it's cashed. So we appreciate all of you so much. We're glad you're here. And tonight's going to be a night of hope and celebration. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Vanessa, our community service director, who put this whole thing together. We thank you all so much for being here.
I don't speak as loud as Tom, so I'm going to use the mic. So on behalf of Osceola Memory Gardens, we thank you for joining us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, we welcome you to this holiday remembrance service. Today we gather not only to commemorate the joy of the holiday season, but also to honor the cherished memories of those who have passed away. This service holds a deep and special significance for all of us. The holiday season can be a time of mixed emotions for those who've experienced loss. While it's a time of celebration and togetherness, it also can be a period of heightened grief. as we miss the presence of our loved ones who are no longer with us. That's why we hold this service, to provide a space for you to remember, to reflect, and to find hope and comfort in the company of others who share your experiences. It's a moment to acknowledge the void left by those we've lost, and to ensure that their memory continues to shine brightly during this special time of year. By lighting candles and sharing memories, we express our love and gratitude for the time we had with our loved ones. We show that their legacy endures in our hearts and that they're never truly gone. This service is a reminder that even in the midst of sorrow, we can find solace in our shared connections and in the lasting impact our loved ones have made. So today, as we gather and light these candles, let us remember, let us reflect, and let us find strength in unity. May this holiday season be a time of both remembrance and hope, as we continue to carry the light of our departed loved ones with us. Thank you for being here to honor your loved ones and for allowing us to be part of your healing journey. At this time, I'd like to introduce Reverend Ray Wernberg, who will offer a message of comfort and hope. Thank you.
Let me begin by sharing probably the first two words Mom and Dad taught us to say. Thank you. Thank you for accepting the invitation to come back to receive that hope, that encouragement. And when I say we or us, it's the whole staff. That's our goal, that's our motive for this evening. We honor you for returning to the place where you're reminded of your loss. We admire your bravery. Some of you have recently experienced the loss. Others, you've been on this journey for a little while. I personally want to thank Vanessa and the entire staff of Osceola Memorial Gardens for their continued thought of caring for the families that they serve and minister to. Of course, they're in a business, but their business is about caring for human beings. When we're hurt at the most devastating times in our lives. And that care, it never stops. It continues. Hence, you're invited to come this evening to receive that fresh hope and encouragement for the holidays. I'm a very, very inquisitive person. I ask a lot of questions. I've heard teachers say, there's no dumb question. Forgive me, I ask some dumb questions, especially when it concerns technology. I'll ask my great-grandkids, how do you work this dumb phone? Oh, Pop, give it to me, it's easy. No, it's not easy. I've got to ask questions. And I'm going to ask a bunch of questions this evening. In particular, who, where, why, what, when, and how. Who are we? Unfortunately, we're all called grievers, mourners. We have a common denominator, a common thread that binds us all together. We have all visited the valley of the shadow of death, as David calls it. George Bernard Shaw observed this truth. 1 out of every people die. Since death is a part of life, so is grief that follows a death. Grief is universal. No one escapes it, hence, we're not alone. Where are we? we're in a safe place. There's no judging, no critical attitudes, no pointing of fingers. Tonight, we're family. Why have this service now? We have this service every year because it's the holy holiday season. All societies designate special times of the year as holiday seasons. Usually these holy days are characterized by certain activities, which, when repeated year after year, becomes the traditional way that we experience that particular day. And for those of us that are suffering loss of a precious loved one, it's the remembrance of holidays past, when this person was present and a part of our traditional activities. That makes these special times difficult to get through. Many of us can't sing "Joy to the World" or "Fa la 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 la." We just can't get it out there yet. I promise you, by the authority of the Word of God, one day you'll sing again. What is this? You've heard already, I'll repeat it. This is a remembrance service. We want you to focus on those precious memories you had with that particular loved one, or maybe plural loved ones. We want you to receive fresh hope, fresh courage from our loving God, and from one another. Reflect that glory, that hope tonight. Share, talk with one another, especially later. I want you first to try to forget that hurt, that grief, that pain that we had at that moment in time of our loss. Let go of any guilt or self-punishment that you might have put on yourselves unnecessarily. But jar your memory bank and think of the joys, the blessings, the fun, the excitement that you experienced with that special loved one that's not here this year. The service is like an outback. You know their motto? There's no rules. If you need to weep, cry, laugh. I saw somebody earlier weeping at one of the songs that was being played on the harp. It's okay to weep, it's okay to cry. I hear over and over again people saying, especially men, I've got to be strong for my loved one. I can't cry. Whoever said that? They're wrong. The shortest verse in the Bible is what? Jesus wept. What was the setting? The death of his friend Lazarus. Jesus wept. Beloved, you're in good company when you weep. It's tragic when, especially the men, we can't let it go. We can't break a tear. We can't release that emotion. When will it end? We want all this pain and suffering to go away. But it usually doesn't happen that way, does it? It was after our child died. Someone shared this quote with me. And I'll tell you, I didn't like it at first. This was the quote. And I don't know whoever said it, but it was passed on to us. It goes like this. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness, nor a lack of faith. It's the price of love that we pay. The part that I didn't like about it was the beginning line. Grief never ends. I got to thinking, do you mean to tell me I'll carry this the rest of my life? I'll go to the grave with this grief and sorrow and pain? No, that's not true. I've come to learn that grief is a process, not an event. Grief disrupts our life. It turns our life upside down, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It might bring fears. To face the unknown without that special, particular loved one. How can I be healed? The how is to realize the nature of our loving Father God. To know his personality. His desire is to heal his people. He's a God of love, and he wants to reflect that love to us. He tells Isaiah in Isaiah 40 this, comfort my people, says your God. That was the primary goal of Isaiah, to comfort God's people. Jump to the New Testament. The Apostle Paul, when he wrote to the church in Corinth, he says this, praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion, the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those like we ourselves that we have received from our God. Hence, what does that mean? His title, one of them, is the God of all comfort. He delights, he loves to comfort his children. When he comforts, he says, all right, now you're a candidate to offer that comfort to others. And you will find in your journey in life, once God has sufficiently healed and mended the brokenness in you over that grief, you'll be given the opportunity to share it with others. Because there are others all around us that mourn, that grieve, that are traveling in that journey as we did. Do you remember that old nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty? Do we still read nursery rhymes to our kids or grandkids? Some do, okay. It goes like this. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Help me if you know it. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again. The first thing I notice in this rhyme, the person is named. He has a name. Unusual. Humpty Dumpty. Don't want that one, but that was his name. I want to declare to you, according to the scripture, God knows your name. It says he even knows the hairs on our head. I really confuse God. I'm losing more and more all the time. That's how intimate our God knows us. Don't ever think our God doesn't know our pain, our sorrow, our grief. He identifies with us right where we are. He doesn't look at a finished product. He sees us right now, where we're at. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Sitting is a place of comfort and rest. You could sit there a long time, probably. I don't want to stand here too long, but sitting is comfortable. We probably were sitting very, very comfortably before our personal loss. Things happen in our lives when we feel like we've done everything right. And then, boom, the loss. And then we go internally and we say, what? What did I do wrong? What should I have done besides what I did. You probably did nothing wrong to experience the tremendous loss you'd have. There's no blame. There's no guilt in your journey. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. A wall represents strength, safety, security. When we experience loss, we probably feel like our wall just crumbled. Made of paper mache. It wasn't brick. It wasn't cement. I want to remind you again that God doesn't know the word broken. God is a God that loves to heal, restore, mend, fix, put back together again. He's a builder, he's a redeemer. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Many of us have experienced that our lives will never ever be the same again. We feel like we fell to the bottom of the abyss. We'll never be able to climb out of that. Not true. God will give you the grace to rebound out. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again. And maybe we found out that our friends, our church, our pastor, our loved ones, they couldn't put us back together again. We might even get bitter and angry toward them. Why don't you understand? Why can't you empathize with me? Let's be gentle on them. They're carrying their own burdens, their own loads. And they're trying to get through their things. So even the highest, most powerful people in the land couldn't restore and heal Humpty. So if they can't, who can? We need to look at the nature of our God, the personality. Jeremiah 31 says it beautifully. He said, I will return their mourning into gladness. I will give them comfort and joy instead of sorrow. Again, at that time, that first week, 2 month, we think that verse is totally impossible. God can never return that joy, that gladness, that happiness, that laughter back to me. It's gone. Beloved, that's a promise from God. God does not lie to his children. The Good Shepherd declared, he restores our soul, the very essence, the very nature of us. And I remind you that it probably doesn't happen instantaneously. We like everything quick and fast these days. Boom! Instant everything. Instant potatoes, instant rice, instant ovens. Instant. Got to have a quicker internet. The youth get mad at that. I don't know anything about it. Who cares? But we like things quick, fast. Talk about fast. I saw some speeders today on the highway. Boom! They love fastness. We would to God, we grievers, we mourners, would put fast in there. God, heal me quickly. Shakespeare said this, what wound did ever heal but by degrees? Here a little, there a little, line upon line. Don't hurry yourself. Don't rush yourself. Share your pain, your grief with precious ones that will listen to you. Someone that will take the time and hold your hand. look you in the eye, then you feel safe. You can share it with them. Gladys Hunt, the great writer, declared that grief is like a journey one must take on a winding mountainside, often seeing that same scenery many times over. A road which eventually leads to somewhere we've never been before. Doesn't it feel like that? You go around and around, and I've been here before. But then one day, hey, I'm starting to walk again. I'm starting to move forward. For most of us, that first year was the hardest. I call it the year of firsts. The first anniversary, the first birthday, the first Christmas, Easter, name the firsts. They come back like a wave. Once we've conquered the firsts, we still might experience upsurges of grief. Waves of painful feelings still can come. They might even knock us off balance and surprise us. I've had one parishioner tell me, I was in a mall. I was shopping. I was next to a gentleman and I smelled his cologne. It reminded me of my husband. Boom! She went into a little tailspin in the mall. Be prepared, things like that will happen to us. But they'll pass, we'll get through it. They can still come. I mentioned that our son died. He died the day after Christmas. Every Christmas since, we remember him. We honor him. We talk about him. And the other children do the same. I encourage people to surrender the doubts and waves of sorrow that can come. I love what Isaiah 40 says. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings of eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Walking. I love that in Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for why? Thou art with me. I remind grievers, I reminded myself, continue to walk. Never give up. Continue to move forward. You, we've got a calling, we've got a purpose, we've got a goal to fulfill in our own lives. Our loved ones would want us and say to us, continue on. Never give up. Please be patient with yourselves. Take the time that you need. But every once in a while, reach for that safe place. You'll be surprised how far you've come from day one. And even if you think you have a long way to go, you're making steady progress in your grief journey. And whether or not you feel God's presence is with you right now, He's with you every step of the way. I love that piece of prose that used to be decoupage on walls. Footprints. What did the author say? I'll summarize it real quick. A man was walking the beach. He always saw 2 sets of footprints in the sand. But then he noticed at the most troublesome, difficult time in his life, he saw only 1 set of footprints in the sand. That troubled him. So he shouted at God, God, you promised me. You said that if I chose to follow you, you'll never leave me or forsake me. Where were you? And then God whispered, my child, my precious child. When you saw only one set of footprints in the sand, it was then that He carried us. Now, hear me. When we're grieving and mourning, our emotional system, our feelings are short-circuited. We need an electrical fix. God is the greatest electrician. He can heal, He can fix, He can mend. And He's still carrying us. But maybe some of us have to let it go. My one grandson, he has health issues, challenged. He loves Disney's Frozen. If you're a parent or a grandma or grandpa, you probably know the main theme thought in Frozen. The setting. I was tired, finished a long day. I was sitting down watching the TV, watching golf. I love to golf. And the grandson came in and he was running back and forth in front of me, in front of the TV. And he was singing the song. You know it. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Oh, I wanted to let it go. Aiden! Thank God. God whispered, maybe you need to let it go. I was going through some difficulties in my life at the time, needed some choices to be made, and I listened to that dumb song. Let it go. And maybe there's someone here tonight that needs to let the guilt go. Let the hurt go. Let all of that stuff, let it go. Move forward. Because again, God is a healer. God fixes broken people. That's His business. Friends, I invite you to go live. Enjoy this holiday season. Incorporate your grief into your lives and get better and not bitter. God bless you.
Thank you, Christine. That was beautiful. Tonight, we gather in the soft glow of candlelight to mark a significant moment, to remember and to find unity in our shared experience. Candles hold a unique power. They illuminate the darkness, symbolize hope, love, and everlasting presence of those we hold dear. In their gentle flicker, we find solace and profound connection to our memories. At this time, I'd like to call up Stephen and Scott from our staff. They will be lighting candles as we commence the candle lighting portion of the ceremony. Each candle we light tonight represents someone special, someone deeply loved and missed. As we kindle these flames, we do more than illuminate a space. We illuminate our hearts and honor the profound impact our loved ones have had on our lives. Let us rejoice and celebrate the richness of a life and relationship shared. In memory of mothers, you gave us the gift of life and tenderly held and cared for us. You laughed and made good times within our home. Our caregiver, teacher, the essence of love is the memory we have of you. Mothers, we celebrate your life. In memory of fathers, you taught us that gentleness was not weakness, and that strength was not power or force. We fill this void with memories of you and all you taught us. We celebrate your life by sharing memories of you with others. Fathers, we celebrate your life. In memory of sons, we mourn the loss of graduation, college, marriage, grandchildren, your companionship as we grow old. We treasure the happy memories and times and a love we shared. Sons, we celebrate your life. In memory of daughters, part of our own life has died in your death. Gentleness, laughter, and loving just starts describing you. We will carry to eternity moments of our time together. Daughters, we celebrate your life. In memory of brothers, our time together seemed too short. We are thankful that as time passes, we will be able to focus on the good times and the unending bond of friendship. Brothers, we celebrate your life. In memory of sisters, we mourn that you are no longer able to listen to our stories or support us with a smile and hug. Your love was unending, as our love for you will always be. Sisters, we celebrate your life. In memory of husbands, our lives have become one, and that part of us died when you took your last breath. We are grateful for the treasury of memories of our love and our life together. Husbands, we celebrate your life. In memory of wives, our companion, partner, sweetheart. Respect, trust, and love enriched our years together. Love is beyond the touch of death. Wives, we celebrate your life. In memory of all other family members, you were someone very special in our lives. You were there for us to call upon in times of need. Dear family, we celebrate your life. In memory of friends, you were the one whom we shared our dreams, confided our fears, and trusted our secrets. It's painful accepting that you're no longer here to enjoy all the things that meant so much to us. Friends, we celebrate your life. Friends and family, we now invite you to participate in the symbolic act of remembrance as we prepare to light your candles in celebration of the lives of your lost ones. At this time, our staff will be lighting the candles at the end of each row. We kindly ask that once your candle is lit, you hold it securely and protect your flame. You can go ahead. Now, as the light spreads row by row, we encourage you to safely share your candle flame with your neighbor. Simply lean in the unlit candle towards the lit candle, allowing the wick to touch the flame. Make sure your hand is under the drip protector so that you don't burn yourself. In this act of sharing, we symbolize the interconnectedness of our experiences and the support we provide to one another during moments of remembrance. Once your candles are lit, please keep them lit safely, illuminated throughout the ceremony. This collective glow reminds us of the enduring presence of our loved ones in our hearts and in our shared memories. As we proceed with the ceremony, we ask you to maintain the candle flame both as a personal tribute to your loved one and as part of a collective display of unity. I will now begin a responsive reading, so I ask that you respond with, "We remember them." In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now part of us, as we remember them. Now I ask that you look into your flame for a moment, and then close your eyes. With eyes closed, you'll see that the flame still glows behind your eyelids. And so it is with our memories. You can now open your eyes and blow your candle out. I ask that you hold on to your candles until the end of the service, at which time staff will have receptacles where you can discard them, or you can keep them if you'd like. I recently came upon this poem, and I thought I'd include it in part of this service. It's not something I used to include, but I thought it was really fitting. And it's called "Death is Nothing at All" by Henry Scott Holland. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am who I am, and you are who you are. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, we still are. Call me by the old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used to. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no force of air, solemnity, or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed, at little jokes that we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be the ever household word it always was. Let it be spoken without effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is this death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well, nothing is hurt, nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again. At this time, we will commence with the proclamation of names of your loved ones, after which we will have a moment of silence. So I'm going to have Jessica come up and start reading the names.
Good evening. Tonight we remember Amon Martin, Amy Clements, Antonio Santa Cruz, Bruce Schroth, Brunelda Baez, Carmen Ocasio, Dietrich William Harries, Donald Henry, Doris Louise Fowler Morris, Edward Campbell, Florencio Santos, Francis Aponte, Francisco Toro, Gabriel Castillo, Gladstone Fox, Guillermo Blanco, Isilda Foster, Janine Celeste Santa, Jeffrey Warenberg, Juan Jose Ruiz Rivera, Juan Perez, Judith Larios, Julia Fuentes, Lyndon Nathaniel Duff, Lillian Rosario, Lourdes Rivera, Louise Campbell, Maria Rivera, Maria Santos, Marilyn Basterecchia, Mark Gerges, Megan Fox, Michael Purvis, Michael Oliver Miller, Minette Sean Martin, Phyllis Powell Young, Rafael Ortiz, Robert Wayne Beckham, Rodolfo Lulu Almazan Jr., Rosmira Duverge, Sandra Brown, Vivian Walker,
Brandon Lee Padilla, Clara Isolina Meneses, Clarence Edward Jones Jr., Clinton Barrett, David Hernandez, David John Dubert, Domingo S. Garcia, Donna S. Ulp, Edward Thomas Brennan, Enith Gale, Esther de Los Angeles Steer, Frederick Augustus, George Harry Weber, Gilberto Nieves, Hazel J. Weber, Hector Raymond Miranda Jr., Hernan Aponte, Hollis L. Murray, Iris Olga Lopez, Ivo C. Castro, Jean C. Felix, Jesus Manuel Sobrado Negrón, Jorge Luis Figueroa, Juan F. Hernandez, Juan Garcia, Juan Reyes, Linda Folks, Linda L. Carr, Lola Helena Russell, Lucia Villanueva Morales, Luis Antonio Jimenez, Luz E. Christian, Lydia Esther Maldonado, Manuel Lopes, Mari Tano, Maria Rodriguez, Maria Teresa Rodriguez Melendez, Marshall Ojeda, Marvin Angel Cruz, Mary Flowers, Maud May Miller, Michael C. Mahoney, Nieves Ortiz Genaro, Norma Cassidy, Pedro J. Roche, Rafael Caraballo, Rafael Valentín Jaime, Rebecca C. Figueroa Ruiz, Robert Charles Antonelli, Rosa Iris Sanchez, Samuel Rodriguez, Stephen John Warren, Thomas David Moore, Trinidad Hernandez, Wade Hampton Kiefer, Wanda L. Cole, William Alexander Colon, William Bonilla, Yolanda Pardo, Zaida Baez, Albert Ramos Jr., Ana Cristina Marquez Duarte, Andrew Michael Serdula, Antonia Bonet Rivera, Baby Harvey, Barbara Ann Garrison, Bonnie Marie Kinney, Brent N. Hoagland, Bryant Keith Troville, Carlos Garcia, Charles Arthur Barlow, Christopher J. Kennelly, Claudina Aponte, Diana Dow, Donna S. Conlon, Doris Marie Alexander, Dorothy M. Mellinger, Earl Floyd Stafford, Edwina D. Chandu, Elizabeth Cole, Elsie Martinez, Florida D. Kolkowski, Francis Ann Dean, Frank Suniga, Fred Larry Urban Sr., Gary Allen Kanagas, Gary Turner, George Fitzpatrick Barfield, Jr., Gloria Van Tassel, Heather Marie Richards, Hilda Brooks Newell, James D. Bunting, James Richard Allington, Jeremy Michael Avery, Joaquin J. Guerrero Sr., John Adam Schroll, John Samuel Dubler, Josefina Gonzalez, Julianne Jones, Kathleen Faye Cania, Kenneth Ray Abbott, Kenneth Williams, Lori A. Tuttle, Lillian Cow, Linda Sue Berger, Lisa Ann Rogers, Lydia Esther Ramos Torres, Lydia Ramos, Marcel Molson, Marianne June Johnson, Mark Robert Gorshoff, Marty Howard Lamb, Mary Ellen Howard, Michael Morin, Newton Arthur Wilson, Patrick M. Kempton, Peggy Gillette, Raymond R. Williams, Robert Ernest Reynolds, Roseanne Parisi, Rufino Cruz, Sandra K. Jansen, Terry Jenkins, Thomas Corbin, Timothy Barker, Vanda McCurry Bussell, Victoria M. Verardi, William R. King. And now, I'd like to begin a moment of silence in their honor. Bow your heads. I'd like to bring up Reverend Ray Wernberg one more time for a closing blessing.
And may you receive this benediction, blessing. Go with it, live with it, think of it through the holiday season. And may you have the gladness of Christmas, which is hope, the heart of Christmas, which is love, the excitement of Christmas, which is joy, the spirit of Christmas, which is peace. And the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give you peace, now and forevermore. Amen.
I'd like to give a special thanks to Reverend Ray Wernberg and our harpist, Christine McPhail. And of course, I thank all of you for coming here tonight and entrusting us with your loved ones. Before you leave, we have some refreshments and some takeaway items for you to take, some snacks, as well as a remembrance ornament for you to leave with. Thank you again.
Wonderful. Those Spanish names just roll off your tongue.
Well, let's get, let me make sure everybody got theirs. I got one.
You might take my picture with this setting so I can see it. Thank you.
Yes, you go to the website, TurkeyStream.com, and do Candlelight, rewatch the whole thing. Already in my car, so you can look it up. And you just go to the website and search Candlelight.
The website of this Osceola Memory Garden.
Actually, TurkeyStream.com. It's my company.
It would show tonight.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was supposed to look pictures. It was supposed to bring pictures.
Maybe for the slideshow. I think that was pre-made ahead of time.
I'll let you have to have pictures.
Yeah. Just go to our website and search Candlelight and this will pop up. TurkeyStream.com.
here and I was like, I'm gonna go fucking names.
I think it's harder than it looks.
Yes, because you don't want to butcher anybody's name.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't know those.
And then you start going too fast or too slow.
I try to pause. I don't know what
Forget to breathe. Exactly. The whole room is looking.
exactly. Just waiting for their loved one's name. They're like, say it, say it.
Right? Vanessa does it too.
Clearly, whoever was reading it had never.
He came forward finally?
I don't think so.
May I ask you, how long have you been playing?
Oh, it's like a little girl.
Yeah.
I knew it had to be. It's such a lost art. Nobody. It's not, and it's such a beautiful instrument.
It's funny because nowadays you can just, rent one or you can get one, less expensive than a loan or something. But when I was growing up, you just had to make the plunge to transit.
Yeah,
It was more common then.
Yeah, it's a shame because that is such a beautiful, beautiful instrument, and like the music is just so. I'm sorry, I just love music.
Oh, it's really a rewarding instrument to play too, because no matter what you play, it's probably the same pay. So when you're first starting, you don't have to struggle like a violin.
Right.
You just hit some notes and it sounds pretty. So
I would love to learn. That's one of my little things. I really should. I really, really love to because it's awesome. Yeah. Would you think it'd be really hard to pick up?
No, I think it's kind of like piano. It's like, if you open a piano and you see all the strings.
Right. Same thing.
Right, do you play piano?
I had taught myself quite a bit when I was younger. Yeah, and then I kind of fell off now, but I can pick it back up again.
Oh, right.